Yo guys, what is up? It is Master here, and I'm bringing you guys some Halo 4 gameplay in the background as I talk about Halo 4's campaign and multiplayer positives and highlights. So this is going to be for the last video before Gamescom, Halo Gamescom starts tomorrow, and basically tomorrow for videos that you see on my channel are basically going to be coverage of bits of news that we receive on Gamescom about Halo the MasterChief Collection and the new map reveals for Halo 2 Anniversary, and also you might even see gameplay of Halo 2 Anniversary on my channel, so stay tuned for that. You're gonna see quite a lot of opinions from myself, and yeah, some interesting news hopefully. So anyway, so yeah, in this video we're gonna be covering all the positives and highlights of Halo 4. Before we move on to that, I got two gameplays here in the background. One is pretty long. Now we were losing here by quite a lot in the start, but later we kind of start a comeback and we kind of bring ourselves on the same level as the enemy team. We managed to get the same amount of points as the enemy team. We managed to come back, and it was a very close match. It was so close in like the last 30 seconds. In the last 30 seconds we kind of gave away a few deaths to the enemy team, and that's why the enemy team managed to win. So yeah, this is quite a long gameplay, but it was a very good gameplay in my part. And second gameplay takes place on Abandon. I won there 21-1. Played against a few morons, like not the best players in the world, so it was quite easy for me to just wreck them into tiny pieces. But anyway, let's move on to Halo 4. Now, honestly, when the Master Chief Collection releases, I worry that Halo 4, as well as Halo Combat Evolved, will be shadowed by Halo 2 and Halo 3, which are considered the best Halo games of a saga. And yeah, the community talks a lot about Halo 2 and Halo 3 on the internet, and they don't talk much about Halo Combat Evolved at all. You know, that was a good game. And some people don't talk about Halo 4 as much as well, and some people actually tell bad stuff about Halo 4. They say how crap it was and how much of a failure it was, but to be honest, Halo 4 wasn't a failure at all. I mean, a lot of people love, like, veteran Halo players did not enjoy Halo 4. I mean, I consider myself sort of a veteran player. I played like every single Halo, but I did not play Halo 1, Halo 2 online. I joined Xbox Live in the Halo 3 days, basically. But in like the late Halo 3 days, I mean. But yeah, I played every single Halo before, so yes. But I still do enjoy Halo 4, and I think Halo 4 is an excellent game, to be honest. But some people do not appreciate Halo 4 as much, and they look more at its negatives and judge Halo 4 because of its a few negatives that it has in its game, and do not appreciate Halo 4 as much as they do the other games. And plus they also have too much nostalgia left for the other few games. So since the Master Chief Collection comes out, they'll enjoy Halo 2 and 3 once more, and then when Halo 5 Guardians come out, they won't have that. I suppose they won't have any more of a feeling or for nostalgia for Halo 2 and Halo 3, and they can hopefully enjoy Halo 5 a lot more. And I mean, I'm sure Halo 5 will be a great game anyway. It will have elements from Halo 2 and 3 mixed, and some new elements which I'm looking forward to see. But anyway, so yeah, Halo 4 was actually a great game to introduce new players within Halo saga and get them started in Halo. So yeah, it was a very good, I think it was a very good Halo to get new Halo players started into Halo and get them used to the Halo mechanics. There's a lot of ways to help players get kills in the game, well, at least the new players, and that was ordnance. When I think about the few negatives about Halo 4, I can only come up with two. Number one is the loadout system, and number two is the ordnance system. Now, ordnance system can be very satisfying in Halo, especially if the casual players, meant to help the casual players at least get some kills, which is one part about the ordnance. But the main negative about it was randomness, and yeah, ordnance won't exist in Halo 5 Guardians, that's for sure. Maybe in like the super casual playlist, but I don't think it will exist in its core gameplay. But anyway, ordnance and loadout, I not like the perks within Halo 4 loadouts, and the armor abilities as well. Like, they need to get rid of loadouts. I mean, they will get rid of loadouts. But anyway, so moving on to Halo 4's positives. So as I said already, Halo 4 is a great game to get new players started in, into Halo. And let's get moving on to the positives and highlights about Halo 4's campaign. So Me personally, I find Halo 4's story actually the strongest in the Halo series. This is just my opinion. I personally enjoyed Halo 4's story and and I found it very easy to understand compared to the other Halos. Much more simple story, and but it was a very great and clever story, in fact. And if fans have read previous books about the Forerunners, they would appreciate this story quite a bit, actually. It featured a badass villain, which is the Didact. I think he's a badass, and the Didact is a great character, a great villain in the game, and they finally moved away from the Covenant like the Prophets and moved into the Didact, which is the new biggest threat to the galaxy, basically, of our universe, bigger than the Prophets were, I think. And the Didact is basically a ancient villain, once sealed away, but then he was awoken again from the life of Master Chief, and he's badass. He gave away some awesome speeches within Halo 4's campaign, with some very intimidating speeches, and yeah, that's what made him great. His character, some intimidating speeches, like that you could follow up on his character and judge him by it. But also not that, but he could but he had some very powerful forces, like he had the Force like some Jedis could, and it's very cool. He had some cool armor as well, and overall he was a great villain, and he did not die in the end of Halo 4, and we basically know that because of Halo Escalation's comics, so he's most likely gonna reappear in Halo 5 Guardians. That's why they did not give him a proper boss battle, I would suppose. But anyway, yeah, great villain was the Didact. We also got another great villain that appeared in Sparnos. His name is Julam Dama, leader of the Storm faction of the Covenant, a terrorist sort of faction. So yeah, but we're staying at the moment in the campaign. So the story in the campaign was absolutely great. We got to witness a new badass villain, main villain, and also a new enemy, the Promethean Knights, Guardians of Requiem. And Requiem is actually a very cool place to actually explore. It's another hint. Had another positive. Had a lot of different environments within Requiem. Especially this was especially seen within Sparnops. In the campaign, you explore, I believe, 3 different terrains of Requiem, and then you abandon it for the last 2 missions. So, or maybe it was even 4 different terrains in Requiem. So Requiem had a lot of environments. That's another positive. A lot of different environments and cool areas to explore. And yeah, then once you see all these areas, you realize how big of a planet Requiem is and how much nature it actually contains. So you have a Prometheans. Now we come to the Prometheans. The Prometheans, I think, are badass villains. They were awesomely designed. They felt like they were intimidating forces, and they worked very well together. And also, what Halo 4 did well is they had intelligent AIs. The Prometheans were much more clever than any previous enemies, and they played more tactically. They were a much more tactical force than the elites were. And so yeah, they were basically the free Industries just wanted a make a brand new enemies, and they basically fell in love with Prometheans and made them more tactical and more powerful than the Covenants, basically, I believe. And you had a different variety of Promethean Knights, different variety of crawlers. The crawlers were the sort of like the grunts of the Prometheans. They were weak by themselves but dangerous in hordes, same as the grunts. And also you had then a defensive and tactical warrior, which is a watcher, which can be deployed from a Promethean's back. And when you have a watcher and a knight together fighting against you, it can be a very unique battle, and also quite challenging if you have like 3 knights or 3 watchers, because watchers and knights make a perfect team together. Like, watchers by themselves actually are crap. They're basically like weak. But when watchers work together with the knights, they can make an awesome team, and they can be quite challenging, so you need to play tactically to win against both of them working together. So yeah, AI was done brilliantly in Halo 4. Even the elites and the Covenant actually played more smarter than they did in previous installments. And yeah, Requiem, great area, and I enjoyed, even though it was only like 8 missions, the campaign was still longer than Halo Reach's campaign, and maybe even Halo Combat Evolved's campaign. But yeah, the campaign missions were very well written, and story was very interesting to follow, and the campaign also featured a lot of terminals to find. The terminals contained the backstory of the Didact in the past, not necessarily all of it, but basically it helped the gamers help the gamers know the backstory for Didact for those who haven't read the books or the book Halo Silentium, which is all about the Didact basically in his past. So yeah, the campaign Halo 4 was personally my favorite. I enjoyed Halo 4's campaign. I think it was a fantastic campaign. Had a pretty dark ending actually in the end, and yeah, I'm looking forward to Halo 5 Guardians, see what the story continues from then. It was a great story. And also, now moving on to some technical highlights and positive about Halo 4. Halo 4 had the best graphics, hands down. Now some people, some morons out there, I mean not morons, but I don't know why, but some people just literally say that the graphics in Halo 4 suck compared to Halo Reaches and even Halo 3's. What are they talking about? That's not true. Halo 4 has the best engine, its graphics are amazing, every character has been extremely detailed. I mean, just look at Dr. Halsey's, for example, in the cinematics, that's detailed, and the Master Chief's armor is also pretty detailed. Like, everything's detailed. I like the Cortana model as well. Like, the detail that went in the game was absolutely phenomenal, and the graphics were truly next-gen for Xbox 360 at the time, and yeah, it was like perfect graphics. I enjoyed it, and the engine itself was the best engine to date. The engine was just perfect. Like, the hit detection was the best ever, even better than Halo 2's. The netcode of the game was absolutely phenomenal, and player movement felt very smooth, and the whole game was basically smooth and very enjoyable. Perfect engine, like, they brought the engine to the limit, and we know that Halo 2 Anniversaries is gonna be even like cooler, but definitely Halo 5 Guardians engine is going to be even better, and I'm looking forward to see what that is like, because they definitely gonna make that even better, definitely. And plus the sound in Halo 4 was also phenomenal. Like the music tracks, they weren't, in my opinion, and by ours, weren't as good as Marty O'Donnell's. I can agree with that, but they're still pretty good. And the sound designs of the weapons and stuff like that and enemies were also truly amazing. Well done on the technical side, at least. And yeah, so very well done. And now moving on to Sparnops. Sparnops was a replacement of Firefight, 3.3's replacement to Firefight. Now it was pretty good. What I enjoyed about Sparnops, it has a fantastic cinematics, like absolutely amazing cinematics. New enemy, Julum Dama, good enemy, and a lot of different environments to explore. Like some of the missions were some environments were like kept getting really used, especially in the first 5 episodes, but later down the line we got introduced to some new environments, and we realized how many environments were actually in Requiem and how big Requiem was. Unfortunately, Requiem got blown up in the end of the last episode, which was episode 10, but yeah, that means you're gonna be moving on to a different area in Halo 5 Guardians. Confirmed, yay! So yeah, cinematics were absolutely astonishing, and the gameplay actually was quite good, but it was reused. But the story in Sparnops was very good. I appreciated it. I mean, I basically enjoyed Sparnops because of its story. I wanted to experience more story. I'm sort of like a story person. I just enjoy exploring and find out more about the Halo universe. But yeah, now moving on to multiplayer. Now multiplayer, this is where the most hate comes about Halo 4 now. I appreciate multiplayer. Some players do not appreciate multiplayer, and I can understand why, mostly because of nostalgia, and they look more about the negatives. I enjoy Halo 4's multiplayer because I look at its positives. A lot of players that do enjoy Halo 4 because they look at its positives. They look at the positives, and then they begin to understand how good of a game Halo 4 actually was for 303's first game. Remember, it was 303 Studios' first game, and Halo 5 Guardians will be perfect, is what I imagine. It'll be the perfect Halo. The new replacement of Halo 2 and Halo 3. Hopefully. Hopefully nostalgia does not kill Halo 5 Guardians. But anyway, I don't think it will. Okay, enough rambling. So, I think Halo 4 had some amazing maps, basically. It's multiplayer. Some, like, we have to appreciate Haven. Now Haven is a very arena-styled map and very competitive, in my opinion. I personally enjoy Haven, even though it comes up so often. I enjoy Haven very, very much. And there's other maps which I enjoy launch, such as Longbow from the big team battle side, and I liked Vortex as well, and also I liked Abandon from a small map. I freaking loved Abandon, and and yes, some of the maps And let's talk about the DLC. So Halo's DLC had some of the best BTB maps in the world. So basically, I think Halo 4's DLC was some of the best DLC out there in Halo. Like some of the maps were the best DLC maps ever. So I personally, Skyline, Monolith, and Haven, those three are my favorite maps in Halo 4. Like those were amazing small maps, and I wish they'd done more small maps. I mean, they did later down. Vertigo in Halo 4 was also a great map. It introduced for the first time more, or it expanded on Halo dynamics within its map, which was very appreciated by myself. I enjoyed Vertigo, sort of the father of the map dynamics which are coming in Halo 2 Anniversary's map. So father dynamics in Halo basically. And also we experienced a remake of the Pit, which is very well done, absolutely brilliant. And yes, also the BTB maps, not necessarily in the Crimson map pack, but the Castle map pack had some of my favorite BTB maps of all time. I think two of them, or one of them, is in my top 5 BTB maps, and I think that's Perdition. I personally enjoyed Perdition, and I think Perdition is a great map. And yeah, Perdition is just beautiful. It's a beautiful map. It's placed similar to Terminal. People see it's a little bit of Terminal. And it's a great map in my eyes. I personally enjoyed it. So some of the DLC maps were best ever. And then the Champions Bundle, for the first time ever, we not just see maps, but I think the Champions Bundle was like the best DLC package you could have. So basically the Champions Bundle included two awesome maps, which in my eyes are two very good maps at least. Weapon skins the first time. Now weapon skins in Halo 4 were great. Some weapon skins in Halo 4 were very well detailed, and I enjoyed weapon skins in Halo. There might be a small element of COD or other shooters, but I think they're appreciated. We don't care. Don't care if they're from other CODs. Weapon skins, every game should have weapon skins. Every shooters, they're awesome. And so yeah, Champions Bundle gave you more weapon skins, more bonus weapon skins, which were cool. Armor sets now. Armor sets DLCs. Now that's good. We got finally some new armor. I'm using the Prefect armor basically every single match from now on. Ever since that came out, I love the Prefect armor. It was just a dream for me to see some Forerunner based armor, and I just loved it. And also bonus content such as stances and more skins, even that weren't available if you purchased the bundle separately. But anyway, so yeah, some awesome DLC were in Halo 4, and also moving on to Forge. There was 4 Forge terrains to have, so that means 4 Forge maps. So it means Forge in Halo 4 was for me the best. Well, it did not have a best Forge map. None maps were the best Forge map. I think Forge Worlds was the best Forge map, but there was 4 different Forge Worlds, so it means 4 different environments. So it means you won't get bored of the same old Forge world in like matchmaking, and I think Forge maps were handled better than in Halo Reach or Halo 3 within matchmaking. So Forge worlds, there was a lot of Forge testing playlists in some points, and later those maps were amazing. They were added in within the matchmaking system itself, and continuously Free doing a great job by adding in new maps to different playlists, new Forge maps, awesome Forge maps, and we had some of these Forge maps, some of the best Forge maps ever, and maps in general. We had like Onyx, Opus, and other maps as well. I mean, I can't think of all of them at the moment. I have to wrap this up quickly. So yeah, Forge was handled very well in matchmaking, and that should be appreciated as well. So yeah, and also Halo 4 was arena shootery, and it could be competitive at some times. And I think it's Rumble Pit. And I had some pretty good game types. Do not forget Ricochet. Ricochet is in my top 5 or even top 3 favorite game types. I love Ricochet. Looking forward to play it on Halo 2 Anniversary maps. And yes, so that basically wraps up everything what I have to say about Halo 4. And oh yeah, one more thing I mentioned. There was some pretty good armor abilities such as Thruster Pack, Region Fields, ones which weren't completely unbalanced, such as the Jetpack. A Jetpack was completely unbalanced, like some of them were unbalanced, but so there's some pretty cool armor abilities such as a Thruster Pack. So I'll see you guys later. Peace.